Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you a demo of my new game for the iPhone, which is not actually on the App Store, but it's just a little thing that I created. This is Voltorb Flip from Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, properly named over here, BombFlip, just for those who don't actually know what Voltorb exactly is. For those of you who don't actually know what this is, the objective of the game is to clear the board of all the numbers without actually touching any of the bombs. There are about 20 numbers that you see around the board. There's two indicators. The top one describes the amount of points within that row or column, and the lower number describes the amount of bombs in that row or column. As you can see, there's a reset button that allows you to clear the board, but it also clears your score. The purpose of the video is just to show you exactly how this game works. You essentially click on the green boxes to reveal the amount of points that each gives. As soon as you hit a bomb, the whole entire board gets revealed for you, and you're forced to reset. And sometimes you're in tricky situations where you're forced to guess, and unfortunately that means that you can't really do much. Other times you're really lucky and you get most of your board being 0 bombs in those rows or columns. And sometimes you have to guess, and sometimes you just have to do a little math. As you can see in the video, sometimes it's really difficult to guess where you're supposed to click and where you're not supposed to click, but that just causes a bit more of a challenge. And sometimes you'll get extremely lucky, like in this next game, where you have only 1 bomb on the entire screen, right over here. The bomb, as you can see, seeing on the points section, is in the bottom middle, and as soon as you clear the board resets, and your score keeps on going. Now the challenge is to beat whatever your high score is. Now for those of you who actually play the Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver games, you'll see that there's a bit of a difference between what my game is and what the actual game is supposed to be. In the game in Pokemon, as you increase the amount of points you get, you increase them by a factor of whatever your point on the board is. As for in this game, you essentially gain points by the amount of points that you hit. On the Nintendo version, you're forced to avoid the ones and the bombs, while in my version of the game, your aim is to get every single number on the board. This proves to be a difficult challenge, seeing as really there are points where you're gonna have to guess between what's a 1 and what's a bomb, or what's actually 2 and a bomb. Sometimes when you're left with no 0 bombs in the row or column, you're forced to absolutely guess, where am I supposed to click? Seeing as sometimes the amount of points in 2 rows and columns are going to be equal, you have to figure out exactly, hey, how am I going to be able to do this? Now this was actually my first Xcode project that was without a tutorial. I actually used the programming language of Swift to create this. It was simple to create the layout and to change the code, but it was very tedious, seeing as there are 25 buttons on the screen and I have to program each of them to do about 3 different things. Generate the number, what happens when it clicks it, and actually I think that's really it. To program the entire thing, including the music, this took about 900 lines of code. I could probably have cut down on it if I'd known more about this programming language, but I don't, so I'm stuck with this very long, repetitive code. I'm constantly looking for new ways to try to improve this game. For example, this was created specifically only for me at first, where I'd be able to play this on my iPhone 5, or iPhone 5S really, and eventually it clicked in my mind that if I wanted to give this out to someone else, I'd need to change how the layout was to match their phones. So I worked towards creating another file, an exact replica of it, except for the fact that this one would be for the other devices. The high score button is also very new, as I never actually knew how to get a high score to stick that way after exiting out of the multitasking screen. But luckily I figured it out, and now I don't have a problem with keeping track of my records. And just a quick final note before I leave, there was a random number generator used for each of these numbers, generating from 0 to 4. So for each level, there are 4 to the power of 25 possibilities. For each level 1 and 2, there's 4 to the power of 50, and so on. So this is an interesting challenge, as you can't really memorize what is going on. Every new level is a new challenge. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.